is protection a critical pillar in your financial ecosystem strategy?
Absolutely. Protection is a huge part of my strategy. I use what's called the risk pyramid. So if you've ever seen the risk pyramid before, on the left side of the risk pyramid, the higher the risk, the higher return. Okay. Go down the risk pyramid, ascending down the risk pyramid, obviously, the lower the risk, the higher return. So the way that I balance out my portfolio, being in the cryptocurrency industry, which is extremely volatile, I mean, you can see a 30% drop, which is a normal thing in the crypto market, right? So knowing that I'm an extremely volatile asset and we have bull runs, bear markets, what I like to do is when my deflationary assets appreciate, I like to pull off the top of the risk pyramid and I pull a portion down and I max fund things like cash value life insurance, which is at the bottom of the risk pyramid. So let me give you an example of why protection is so important. So from 2006 to about 2008, we went through one of the biggest financial collapses in our living history. And a lot of our parents and maybe your grandparents went through a really, really tough time, right? So imagine if you went to school, got a job, you had a 401k, you did everything you were supposed to do, and then our government doesn't responsibly regulate banks. They're giving out loans to cats, no stated income. Anybody could get a mortgage loan and boom, the mortgage market collapses, bringing down the stock market. Well, if you're in a vertical strategy, right, only the stock market, your whole retirement is gone. So what we like to do is when we're in these bullish markets, we pull down and we provide that protection. So in those type of situations, we have about 30% of our wealth which is insured. So if the markets come collapsing down, which all markets do at some point, we have 30% of our wealth insured. So when everybody's trying to recoup and get back to baseline, we're already at 30% of our wealth insured that we can leverage again to create the compound going. So cash value life insurance is a protection component. I'm starting to see Bitcoin, just to be transparent, as a protection component to guard my wealth from the inflationary dollar. So protection is extremely important to anybody's portfolio. I don't think you should ever be just allocated in one asset class. Going to school, getting a job, having a 401k, being in a business, and cryptocurrency, that was my old self. Now I scaled my businesses, created cash flow 24 hours a day. And then when we create that cash flow, we put it into deflationary assets. When we profit, we take some off the table, not all of it, and we put it into protection so that our family is secure from generation to generation.